Hello, and welcome back to Productive Dragons channel, where we do unboxes, plan with me's, and other things. And if you like that, please consider subscribing. Today is going to be a little different. I'm actually going to join my first readathon of this year, 2023, and I'm starting again like I did last year with the Roll of Reads Readathon, hosted by a book fiend named Mel. Last year I found her thing and I thought, this would be great. And she said, well, you can either roll this or you can do mine. And I was like, you know what? I'll just I'll do what she ended up picking. This year is going to be different. What happens is it's kind of a D&D game, Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you who don't know. I've never played, where she gives us some prompts and you use a D8 to figure out how many books you're reading, and a D20 for the game. So let me go ahead and bring you down to the board. We have some prompts that she had, and it's different prompts that you write. And what it is that you will put down, let me shuffle mine, and you will put down 20 cards. Now, from my understanding, if you roll a 1, it's not good in D&D, and it's not here either. If you roll a 1, you end up having to do that prompt plus add a roll. You just have to make sure there's 20. Now, if you roll a 20, that's a good thing, because that is really good. And you get to choose you either can do that prompt or it can be a freebie. It's up to you. The only other catch to this is that there is also, if you roll a number 3 times, you have to add a book. Okay, so there is that. So that is the one thing that's going on. She's added a few prompts in there that are now dealing with her new game, which is a thief and whatnot. So there's going to be prompts where it says orc or halfling or dwarf or wizard. That's going to be on her list. So let me go ahead and show you the thing I have. So let's go ahead and roll the D8 first and see how many. 3. Okay, 3 books. Okay, we'll do 3. All right, get rid of that. And the first one. So first one is a 15. So that would be this one. Dwarf. Go figure. So, okay, number 15. Okay, whoops. 2, that was close. A gifted or from Subbox. Okay, it's 2. All right. 11. LGBTQIA rep. Okay. You know what? I want to add 2 more. I normally read about 10 books. So let me add 2 more to this. I'm going to probably regret myself for this. But 3 was a little low. So we're going to go ahead and roll 2 more times. 16. All right. And that was this one. A booktuber's favorite book. Okay. And last roll is a 1. Which, of course, I'm going to have to add. So that is a mental and physical health rep. And I have to add a roll. So that's what I get for adding 2 more. And another one. Good grief. Okay. I asked for this. Sorcerer. 12. And that's it. So that is 7 books. Okay. And we said 12, so this is this one. An indie / self-published. Okay. All right, with that being done, I will be right back to show you the books I hope to be reading. Okay, I'm back. Yes, a little different setup. However, I've got my books picked for this readathon. So, the first card I picked was Dwarf. Dwarf is read a historical fiction, literary fiction, classic, or non-fiction. For this, I'm going to go for The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I've got this last year, and I thought this would be a perfect time to read this story. I know it, but I've never actually read it. So, this is going to be their first book. So, Dwarf is that one. Gifted or from a sub-box. Well, that one was a little difficult because I went and cheated and seen what I was going to get from my Nightworms box. And this is what came up, which I'm going to put in that spot. It's The Spite House by Johnny Compton. This book is a horror, so I'm really into thinking, because I've seen it on booktube a lot. People have talked about it, but no one's really said anything other than they were going to read it. And since I'm getting it, I'm figuring, I think I'm going to read this one because it sounds pretty good. Eric Ross is on the run from a mysterious past with his 2 daughters in tow. Having left his wife, his house, his whole life behind in Maryland. He's desperate for money. It's not easy to find safe work when you can't provide references and you can't stay in one place for long. You're paranoid and your past will keep creeping up back on you. And so I'm like, that's enough for me. I'm wanting to read this. So that is what I'm going to read for Gifted or from a sub box. Yeah, I cheated by looking it up. Next, we have an LGBTQIA plus rep. And for that, I'm actually going to use one of the book club ones that I joined, which is JNR's book club. And they're reading, so this is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. It is a carry-on meets Arthurian legend, is in this funny, subversive, young adult fantasy about what happens after the chosen one wins the kingdom and has to marry it to keep it and to stay alive. Interesting. I'm thinking, okay, this is LGBT, so I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Not big on romance, but why not? So there's that one. Then the next one was Booktuber's favorite book. Now, that was hard. I'm like, I don't have a favorite booktuber. But I was like, let me see this person's list. And what they did was they just pulled these lists of people who talked about different books. And these were the favorites amongst different ones. And I thought, okay, this one sounded interesting, so I'm going to read this one in its place. And it's called How High We Go in the Dark. I'm not going to butcher this person's name because I will butcher it. And this is science fiction. I thought, well, there's something different, and I like this. So this is going to be interesting. It's, from my understanding, a few short stories all together that will be combined at the end. Not really sure, but I'm sitting there going, this sounds pretty good. I think I'll try for this one. So this is the book that I'm reading for that prompt. Mental / physical health rep. All right, and there's this one. I am going to continue a series that I started, which you'll find out when I tell you what I read in February. Masters of Iron by Teresa Leventhal. This is about Ziva, continuing the story. I don't want to say anything because it explains a lot in the first story. But Ziva has got social anxiety, which I can relate to. So I'm like, this is perfect. I loved the first book. And this is the second part of the series. And I think this is it for the series. I don't think there's any other books out there. There aren't going to be any more books. But yeah, I want to read this one. So yeah, I'm definitely reading this one for that. And I can't wait to finish this because this is going to be interesting. Then we got Sorcerer, which Sorcerer was, and let me give you the correct terminology, set in a magical / fantasy world. Well, I'm going to continue this series that I started in January. And it's called The Enchanted Forest Chronicles. and it's called this is the third book in the series. It's called on Dragons, and it's been who now is no longer a princess. So I can't really go much further, but this is a really good, I love this series so far. I've enjoyed every book so far. It's middle grade, but it's still lovable. I just absolutely love this. So this is going to be interesting seeing where they go with it now that we no longer have a princess. She's become a queen. So, so there's this book. It's for Sorcerer. And last but not least, indie/self-published. And I'm going to throw this out here, and I'm thinking this is right. So if I'm wrong, you can correct me. But I am going to read Max Booth's third, We Need to Do Something. This is another horror. A family is on the verge of self-destruction, finding themselves isolated in the bathroom during a tornado warning. I've heard a few things about this one, so I'm kind of curious. So that is what I'm going to read for the month for the readathon. Hopefully I will get all the books done. Like I said, I have 3 of them. I own 3, and one's from the library. I want to cover that library thing up, not giving away too much of my information. And then the others, I'm either reading from an ebook to waiting to get the books in the series. So all in all, I think I'm going to succeed on this one again. I did last year. Of course, we only had 4 books. And of course, I asked for myself to mess up and go, okay, let's do 2 more. It's like, yeah, you asked for it. Should have just kept with the 3. But all in all, it's still good. Are you going to join this readathon? Let me know in the comments below. If so, what prompts did you get? I'm curious. Like I said, I'll leave her information of a book fiend called Mel down below, and her introduction video to this. Like I said, this is her 2nd year, and I'm joining for the 2nd year in a row. So, but this time I'm actually doing the prompts. I didn't let her do the rolls. Probably should have. We'll see. Like the video, and until next time, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day.